One guy, and I'm retweeting Cag's highlights, sends me a message. Defense took some of the shine off. Good grief. Like, okay, yeah. Hey, the defense. Okay, sure. I mean, it's. Guess what? I'm just gonna let you know. I don't want to spoil the party, but Cags was not brought up to win a Gold Glove. So if that's what you're looking for, it's probably not going to happen. And you're going to see some things from him in the field that will not be pleasant to the eye. It's a work in progress. All right? But he's a good enough athlete, and he's a smart enough kid, and as Rusty Kuntz put it, a hard enough worker where he's going to get better and he'll be fine. But if that's what, like at the end of that game yesterday, if that's what's floating around in your mind, then I got nothing for you. I really don't. Then I don't know what I could. And if you don't believe there, you think I'm making that up?
Why?
But like,
why do you pay attention to that? Just
because
block them.
I don't block anybody. I read all these things. It's interaction. They listen to the show. If I'm going to read all the good ones, I can't just like immediately. Oh, this is the first word. I know this is going to be bad. I end up reading it. I don't read any of the good ones. I didn't answer them. I didn't respond to them. I just thought it was interesting. A wide variety of responses.
A lot of ignorance out there.
Well, no, but that's just some people.
Ignorance.
Some people look for the negative and stuff.
Right.
But I'm just telling you, that's how it's going to be. He's going to have some rough spots out there. But he was brought up here to hit home runs.
Right. He
and you'll take the bad.
He hadn't
with
played
the good.
the outfield since high school.
Right.
Relax.
Matt said, I'm either very excited to hear what Steven says in the morning and very scared he might not make it into work. Oh, I made it. See? And several videos sent to me of Sophie Cunningham. Thank you. All right. Michelle, I can't wait to hear your opening tomorrow. You guys are the best. Does that read the good stuff? Robert, now if we can get a manager who knows how to win the close games, we might have a contender. He was still a little, but that's fine. Robert, that's fine. I'm not criticizing anyone.
Team to the playoffs last year.
Well, tell Robert that.
Robert, relax.
But mostly good stuff.
The Royals just swept the Rangers.
People are excited.
They swept them.
All right.
Hadn't been swept at home all year.
A lot of people sending me Sophie Cunningham stuff.
Well,
see, if I just blocked everything and just look at this,
I don't block anybody either. But
I you know what? I lie. I do block some people.
I don't think I've blocked a single person.
If some people's really stupid, I block them so they can see I blocked you because I don't like you. But sometimes I just mute people and then they don't know, and then they're just talking to themselves and they don't realize it. That's the cruel part. You know what I mean?
To criticize a guy playing defense after he hit two home runs in the game is.
I'm just saying, it is what it is.
It's a little silly.
How about this?
It's a lot silly.
How about Art?
Hey, Art.
Art with the best comment yesterday during the game.
What'd Art say?
Jack's first multi-homer game. Watch out, Willie Wilson.
That's right.
Now, tell me that's not a great tweet.
That's a fine listener.
I'll retweet. There we go.
That's
Retweet Art.
That's a fine listener.
He said, watch out, Willie Wilson, or Mike Sweeney.
Yeah. That's a quality listener right there. I appreciate that.
Art, you're the kind of guy, that's who we do the show for right there, Art.
It's a solid name, too.
Right. Art listens to all the little fine points of the show.
All the idiot things that come out of my mouth.
Brian said, my heart feels a little happier today.
Good. Good, Brian.
Mr. Beach Rock says, I'm just glad you decided not to send him back down. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Several people were thanking me for not sending him down.
Well, it's a good decision by you.
Well,
to be patient.
I tried to think through it.
Way to go, Stephen.
Oh, Greg. I don't understand why you didn't send him back to Omaha before you ruined his career. See?
Railroad. You didn't railroad his career.
See, but that's something. So then, if I don't read these, then I miss those.
Right.
But then I got to read them and see, But I also think it's
You can read them. You just don't have to publicly say this.
Oh, I did, just to irritate you because I knew that was going to piss you off.
That's stupid.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That was targeted at you.
Well.
You're my demographic for that one. But the overriding sentiment from, I think, everybody was a sigh of relief, like, okay, good.
Celebration.
Good for him. Because you're happy for him, because you know that that was weighing on him. It had to be.
How about the idiot who threw his second home run back on the field?
And whatever, bro. I mean, he got peer pressured into it. You could see, but whatever.
I'm keeping that ball. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not doing that to any. If I ever was lucky enough to catch a home run ball,
right.
I'm not throwing it to anyone.
No
I'm
one.
All right,
I'm keeping it. I don't care.
I don't care who hit it. I'm
Right.
Thank you.
It's my ball.
But back to my point, that second home run, then he crushed it. And listen to Rex, his laugh is like almost diabolical. And so then even like say, look, there's a bunch of great Royals fans or hardcore Royals fans that watch minor league games and watch the videos and have seen all this other stuff. But there's some casual fans that maybe aren't on social media that haven't seen all the highlights or whatever, and that was maybe their first glimpse of Cags flexing his muscles. And I think there were a lot of people that watched that sounded like Rex.
Caglianone's home
Listen
run.
to Rex in the background
Lefty
laughing.
Jacob Latz. And there it goes. Deep into right center field. A no-doubter. And Jack Caglianone's first big league game with a home run is a multi-home run game.
Go ahead, throw it back. He'll take it. Oh, man. Now he jumped all over that one. That went way further than that first one. That's all it took. That first one, and now that's unlocked him, and here's the power. Here he comes.
And I agree with that. That's right. That's all it took. All right? But you hear, when you see where it landed, and they called it 439 feet. And by the way, that needs to be added to our library of laughs. You hear after they yeah. I think that's a great representation of how Royals fans felt everywhere. Did you see where that one landed? I'm calling people that maybe that that they were working or they didn't see it. You see Cags hit 2 home runs? Royals win 4-1. How did you feel when he hit 2 home runs? Didn't that feel great?
Oh, yeah.
Just like, all right, let's go.
Scott Carroll texted me. I got Buster Olney texted me.
It felt good, right? It felt good.
It was a great way to spend my afternoon. It really just catapulted. It just made.
What did you do when he crushed that second one? Were you like, oh? I mean, seriously,
Well, how high it was. Like
the first like that the high how high the first pitch was.
Yeah.
That's
the first one is like it's like
the last 10 years. That's like the high. They made the highest
second
pitch,
highest since 2008.
Right, that someone's hit out of the ballpark. The bat speed. And just,
I went right to Twitter and just like refresh so I could see the replays over and over again.
That last home run, how far it went. Like, oh boy, and see that's the difference too. Like we don't see that from the Royals. You don't have guys that usually crush balls like that. And and here's the deal, that's gonna happen a lot. When he gets a hold of one, it goes.
Buster texted me, Cags for the Derby.
Yeah. That was wonderful. What a way to start the weekend. Loved it. Fantastic.
Great day. Great day, Woo.
Yeah. Damn. And now the hope is he's relaxed and he's ready to roll. He's ready to make things happen. Is he still going to have some struggles? Yes. Yes. At the plate and in the field. Yep. But you put up with those and you're patient with the growing pains and you get rewards like yesterday, like that. And I'll take that. And you got me walking around all night long, just thinking about it. Kegs, 2 home runs. Let's go. Back into this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Also, last night, right here on Sports Radio 810, you heard the Indiana Pacers dismantle Oklahoma City in Game 6. Jake, in Game 5, he was Tyrese Halliburton, and then in Game 6 he wasn't. You get it, because his calf was hurting. No, I mean, you get that, right?
Oh,
He was hurt.
I got it.
Hurting.
I got it. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want it.
We'll try that again in an hour.
I don't know if I want it.
And the Pacers destroy Oklahoma City, which sets up Game 7 of the NBA Finals for the first time since LeBron and the Cavs came back from down 3-1 and beat Golden State. So hopefully this Game 7 will be anywhere close to as awesome as that was. And also, we told you about this when we had Mike Boddicker in studio, and watching this series the last couple of days, we've been talking about the Padres and the Dodgers. All hell broke loose again. Fernando Tatis Jr. was hit again by the Dodgers. And so Mike Schultz, the manager, went on the field and was screaming at Dodgers manager Dave Roberts, who ran out of the dugout after him. Bench is cleared. I have video I'm looking at of Dave Roberts saying, "I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to beat your ass," to the other manager. And so, baseball, let's go. Dodgers and Padres. That was fun. And oh, by the way, Royals at Padres tonight. So, with Jamie Bluma in attendance. And remember, the game is going to be on Apple TV tonight. And we have Stan Weber here to talk about everything going on. Stan, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Did they talk about Willis Reed of the New York Knicks coming back on the floor to play when they thought he might be injured?
I don't know, but look at Dave Roberts threatening the opposing manager. I like that. That's fire, isn't it? Look at him.
With the Los Angeles on his back?
He just told him, "I'm going to beat your ass." Like, okay. Padres, Dodgers. Catch it. Did you see that, Jake? Did you know that were you watching that? Do you like nice bench-clearing brawls? Not brawls, but dust-ups in baseball?
Yeah.
Hey, reminds me of the 70s and 80s.
Like you say, you don't see them very often anymore.
What about when one manager threatens to beat up the other one?
I wish he would have.
Good old-fashioned baseball.
What about a manager getting in the face of an umpire? It's about done.
Yeah, rarely.
You miss
see
those days?
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that with Boddicker, when they come out and kick dirt on home plate, or
Lloyd
Lloyd
McClendon
McClendon just took the base.
Stole first base.
Took the base and left. And so, yeah, that's awesome. I like it also when Jake Caglione hits 2 home runs in a game.
That's nice. And a 3-game winning streak.
Right.
Boy, this is a streaky team right now.
You would only hope they're going to settle in and become more consistent, and the offense can become more consistent. But it was nice to see them not only win games, but utilize the long ball doing it. And each night was a different guy. Game 1, your guy Salvi crushes a couple, comes through. Bobby Wood Jr. hits one. Game 2, Michael Garcia was the star. And now Game 3, Vinny went deep. And we're talking about Cags going deep twice. And that's the key right here. Bobby Wood Jr., yes, he has to play like an MVP candidate. But there's a lot of guys that have upside that can help this offense. And we saw that on full display in this 3-game series.
Will Michael Garcia continue to play this well? Man, it's been awesome.
Why not?
It's overshadowed because the whole team's offense has been so below average. You forget how well he's hitting, playing, and he hit that home run, nice line drive out. Good sweep. But, they surprisingly were so good at home and struggled on the road, and that thing has been turned upside down in the last 9 games or so. That home losing streak was just unbelievably bad, and now they've gone on the road and swept Texas, on to California.
And maybe that's just that's something that had happened. You've seen teams that maybe hit rock bottom or hit a certain point where that's it, and they bounce back and they figure things out. And maybe they needed to get out of town and have people really start to doubt them and give up on them, and that's going to help. And let's be honest, you can talk about player-only meetings and everything else, but then when you go out there and you execute, and then you can see. And now this is going to be fun to watch, like Rex Hudler was talking about. I agree. This could unlock Jack Caglione, and then he can relax and settle in to the major leagues. Now the team has, not that they didn't, but Teammates have confidence in him. He has confidence. And then maybe this could just have a domino effect, and we could see this team start to play like the expectations suggested.
The other thing is that I thought might happen, along with that momentum, team meetings and things like that in baseball. Yeah, you just never know if it's going to mean something or not. They're very rare, right? I mean, once every couple seasons, teams decide to do it. If you look at one franchise, it's not a core thing. The thing about baseball is, how can you get the connectivity and the momentum? Remember the 14 and 15 Royals, where they say things like, keep the line moving, go up to bat and just, don't make it out. Just keep things moving. There was a team attitude. You don't get that a lot in baseball. It's a real individual sport played in a team setting. You know when you're pitching, if what the score is, and you need to play well. But basically, you need to execute this against this batter. The batter needs a hit. I thought yesterday you had a chance for great team building. It has to be organic, and it's the best way. But when Jack Caglione hit the home run, and they all decided
Silent treatment.
The silent treatment, and then he played along with it so perfectly, like it was scripted, when he went down and acted like everyone was high-fiving him on each side. It was so well done. And then, naturally, Salvador Perez turns around, gives him a hug, and that was cute. But then when it happened the second time, and they could all be there for the actual recreation, except for this time everyone was high-fiving him, I mean, that team unity means something. In football, it's regular because you only play 17 regular season games. How many times do they have mic'd up where they put the mic inside of a group, and it's the DBs, or it's the defense, or it's the whole team right before they go into the locker room, and they're all giving a big speech, like, let's get fired up. You think about the Ray Lewis ones, but every team has it, like, let's go, let's get fired up before they go in the locker room. Then the coach probably says some words, and they come exploding out, and that's the way football is. And then after a win, you're in there in the locker room. There's an energy after a win. It's okay to be excited about what happened on that Sunday, let's call it, or for the Chiefs every day of the week. There might be a game, but there's an excitement, right? In baseball, you're supposed to just go win or lose. Let's go through our routine. We'll be back here tomorrow to play again. I love the idea that the Jack Caglione 2 home runs, I thought, created a natural team building. In baseball, you add that extra juice in there, that can help, because this team has good players, good people, I mean. The manager's very calm. The organization's run well. Just a little spark, like you're talking about, could get things going.
That was badass. Hit that second one. Like, because even the players, because that's what they saw in the spring. That's what George Brett described when he was on the show, what they saw in spring. That's what, talking to different guys up in Omaha. They know this kid can be special. And then when he does it and he helps them win, that's the next level. And then everyone's fired up, like you said. That provides a boost. And baseball is different. How many times have we heard players say, and I know I've heard George say this a couple times, try easy. You can't go out there like a football game and get all fired up at this, fever pitch. That's just not the way baseball is,
Yeah.
And it's
because you only get a bat once every ninth time.
And it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a grind. What they need is, yes, they needed a spark, and hopefully they got it in the series, but they also need consistency. Let's see if they can. They've been shut out 8 times, I think, this year.
Wow.
Just even it out, man. And they're averaging over a run less a game than last year. There's room to improve. Vinny's been hot. He went deep again. I mean, you could see it. And then this is important too, because we talked about this 12-game stretch, which started with these 3 games against Texas, now 3 at San Diego, 3 at home against Tampa, they're hot, and then 3 against the Dodgers, the world champs. This is kind of a proving ground now. Like, management sitting back, like, okay, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna?
Yeah, that's the realities of baseball.
Trade a veteran or 2? Are we gonna do nothing? Or are we gonna go out and get somebody? And if they play well enough, they'll go out and get somebody. I think that's where they're leaning anyway. Because there's a clear need.
Yes.
They need a corner outfielder. There's no debating that. And so I do think if they play well enough that management and J.J. Piccolo and Scott Sharp, they're ready to pull a trigger on something. And that'll be a boost, too, because we've seen that in the lot.
You double down or you lose some of your buddies, and they get traded. And
oh, look, they believe in us. They just went out and got somebody.
Yeah,
we're
a good
buyers.
point.
Let's
it's
go.
Like it's earning it right now.
Yeah.
There's a mid-season earn your way to be a team.
And there's about
everybody needs to lean on each other, or it's going to be.
There's 10
a lot
teams
of
doing
games.
That.
Yeah,
right.
There's a lot of games when the management goes, okay, this isn't our year.
You go look at the wild card standings and how many teams can either be in it or be out of it in the next month. And that's what's so – some people hate it, but that's what's really cool about the expanded playoffs. More teams are in it longer. It makes it harder to trade and harder to find a partner. But it's fascinating right now to who is going to trade. And there's going to be some team out there that you think's in it, like, I don't know, what Boston did. They traded their best hitter, and got a questionable package back. But that was obviously that they had issues in the clubhouse. But still, trades like that will surprise you.
The other thing I think that's important to point out about Jack Caglione.
Kegs!
I'm not a baseball expert, but if I kind of overlay a sports mentality, the spectacular play by Patrick Mahomes that no one else would do, falling out of bounds, throws the ball up to Tyreek Hill for a touchdown, and it's elite, off the charts, so much fun, but is it recreatable? How about the time he throws from the pocket and just throws on time, strikes the receiver, reads the blitz, touchdown? That's what actually wins over the long haul. I thought there was a bit of that yesterday because Jack Caglione's first home run, it was fun to see, but if you just step back from a fundamental point of view, he shouldn't be swinging at balls up there. He should be taking that for a ball, and the fact that he muscled it out can be cute, but that's not good baseball. That's why I thought the second home run was such a key. To blast it even further, it was more of a pitch that you would expect him to rip and take care of, and that made the first one more acceptable to me. Otherwise, we'd be excited today if the Royals won and he hit a home run, especially you, his biggest cheerleader and marketing agent.
Well, I'd like to be. Give me a little cut of that. No, but there's
that second one to me was, yes, that made the first one even more valuable because he shouldn't be swinging at balls up at his eyes.
But you know who does swing at balls like that and hits them out sometimes? Salvi. Right? I mean, seriously.
Here's an outside corner.
Like, how many times do you think, why are you swinging? Oh, he hit it out.
Yep.
And you know who else? And look, we're talking about Hall of Fame players, right?
Yes.
Like Vladimir Guerrero used to swing like
Manny Sanguillen, is that a name?
How in the hell? Oh yeah. I remember you watch Vladdy, like, how in the hell? Even like Kirby Puckett. Like, first of all, why is he swinging? How did he hit it? And how did he hit it like that? But that's like for Cags, though. But maybe that's a little indication of why this kid's special. Because you shouldn't swing at that because you're not supposed to be able to do anything with it. But he did.
Yep.
And some guys
have the strength to get it out, to jump on it. But I'm going to say
bat speed.
Over time, it's like Patrick Mahomes throwing from the pocket and throwing touchdowns. The more he can do that, the more legitimate he is for the long term. And so I thought his second home run meant so much. It went further, but just cranking that one, that looked like, oh, this could happen a lot.
Oh yeah, and even like Q even talked about that was he politely said it wasn't a very good pitch to Cags, and like that's when people would say that were kind of resisting calling him up. Well, he's not going to see those pitches in the major leagues. Well, not all the time, but sometimes he is, because guess what? There are some not very good pitchers in Major League Baseball, and they make mistakes all the time. And the problem with the Royals is they haven't had guys that are able to capitalize on those mistakes and put it over the wall. If the Royals hurt you or if the Royals jump on a mistake, it's a double or something, because they don't have very much power. But now when you got a guy like that, and if Salvi's hot, the same thing. If you make a mistake, he will crush it. And that pitcher, Jack Leiter, made a couple of goofy pitches to Salvi in that first game, and what did he do with them? Put him out. And the Royals don't have very many guys on the team in the lineup that can do that. And so it's very exciting to watch that.
He's bringing power.
Thank you.
You make something interesting. We talk about analytics a lot, and you talk about the pitching and maybe lack of excellence throughout every pitcher in the major leagues, right? Think about when Boddicker played with a 25-man roster, how many pitchers were on the roster?
Yeah.
Was it 9 or 10?
Yeah, not very many.
And then now, how many are they carrying?
12 or 13.
Yeah. So just the numbers, and then the best pitchers used to pitch a lot longer. Now they roll through 2, 3, 4 pitchers. So it's just by mathematics, that the pitching isn't as consistent as it may have been in the past.
Think how many times Quiz used to pitch 2 or 3 innings as a closer.
I know.
Right? Jake, do You have
That's
remember
Dan.
the
He's
quiz.
talking about
I know,
Dan
but do you have a
Quisenberry.
good
You know who that is?
recollection of quiz?
Yeah, of course.
But people will look.
Not
you
every
look back
fan
at
out
the
there
stats.
listening to us knows who
Come-
Dan
he'd come
Quisenberry
in
is.
at 7th, 8th,
Right.
and 9th and lock it down.
And that was not unique. Closers or your best relievers to come in. And
6
sometimes
outs
just be
usual.
starting pitcher to the closer. Let's go. You know?
And only 4 starting pitchers.
And you had guys like Boddicker you'd have to drag off the mound. He wasn't coming off the mound. 100 pitches, what? I'll go
Why
to
would you leave with 100 pitches?
130, 140. And see, it's much different, but also watered down somewhat.
Exactly.
You know?
I think Jack's doing fine
Oh, yeah.
against this type of pitching even.
It was wonderful. So, congratulations to Jack Caglione on his first 2 Major League home runs. And so we'll see if Jake or Stan, if you saw this stat. I thought this was interesting. Cags becomes the 4th Royals player in history to hit each of his first 2 home runs in the same game.
4th one.
Yeah, that's more than I thought. That's a 4th Royals player to hit their first 2 Major League home runs in the same game. Would you like to hear the list? Jake's shaking his head. You don't want to hear the list?
No, that's just that's a lot, it seems to me.
One of these guys you guessed when I asked you a trivia question a couple of days ago. And no, it's not Willie Wilson. It's a guy that had power that had a brief.
Danny Tartable.
No, even more brief. He had a few moments in the late '90s at Kauffman Stadium.
Oh, Mark Quinn.
Yes, that was the last guy to do it. Mark Quinn.
How
My
about
guy's
it?
sharp today.
How
Wow.
about it?
Mark Quinn.
Nice job, Jake.
I remember
September
that.
14th, 1999.
I remember
Mark
that.
Quinn hit his first 2 home runs in the same game. Now, you'll appreciate this next one, and I'll appreciate this next one. And let's see if Jake is sharp. Stan, if I tell you this next name, it'll make us all want to put a toothpick in our mouth.
Amos.
Shortstop.
Oh, UL.
Yay!
Washington.
I was going to. That's right. UL Washington. There we go. 921.
Yeah, tell people about the toothpick. A lot of people don't know.
UL Washington used to play for the Royals and was an excellent shortstop and would have a toothpick in his mouth out in the field. And so that was
he number 30?
Was he?
I'm just guessing. I don't know why that comes to my head.
I know who number 5 was. UL Washington, 9/21/1979. And then the third guy, the third player to do it, Jim Rooker, in July of 1969.
UL Washington, number 30.
There you go. Boom. And so Jim Rooker before my time, before my day. But UL
What
Washington
year was Jim
not.
Rooker?
1969.
Wow.
Right.
Was he a pitcher?
I don't think so.
No relation to Al Roker.
No.
Okay.
Jim Rooker is not related to out.
Pitchers used to hit
Let me see.
for the Royals. I doubt that would be the case, but
Well, yeah, he's a pitcher. There you go.
Wow.
And broadcaster.
Wow. Stands on it.
When did he broadcast? A left-hander pitched for the Tigers, Royals, and the Pittsburgh Pirates.
hit 2 home runs as
There
a
you go.
pitcher.
His first 2 home runs.
That's a
that?
guy Boddicker would like. Someone who could get up to the plate. You know, you throw inside and maybe start something or hit somebody. Guess what? You had to come up to bat.
He also ran for the Pennsylvania House of Representatives and for the United States Congress and lost both elections. So, but I mean, he was in it. I mean,
I don't know why I thought he was a pitcher, but it just rang in my head. Pitcher.
Oh, you knew, Stan. Don't pull a Nate Bukaty. You knew. You know what Nate likes to do, right? He acts like he has no idea, and then he guesses. You know, but he was.
I
he's
probably
actually
don't.
reading
I
it.
don't like to do a lot of things Nate does.
Right. Don't pull a Nate. See, that's what I'm saying. You knew it. He joined the Pirates radio and television broadcast team, and he worked as color analyst from 81 through 93 and worked on ESPN 94 to 97. How about that?
Isn't it unbelievable ESPN's going to give up baseball after this year?
Jim Rooker.
Oh, it looks good. That looks like a classic picture from those times. He's showing me a black and white photo. What would you call that? Neck up
Yeah.
with a baseball cap.
won the World Series with the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1979. We are family, Pirates.
You got to go back and look at those uniforms.
Well, I love those.
And the music was great. We Are Family, Willie Stargell.
We've got Stan
Remember how
Weber?
Willie Stargell used to get ready to bat?
Oh, yeah.
Swinging his
Oh, yeah.
swung his bat in almost like a circle with a little, what do you call that in there? A little dance move in there.
Pops. We've got Stan Weber in studio. We'll talk some football. We've got some sound from Andy Reid and Nick Bolton. A little bit later on, we're going to talk to Mike McFarland and Pete Sweeney. We're also going to chat with former Chief Safety Justin Reid, now of the New Orleans Saints, who's going to be in town for a couple of charity events for his foundation. And we'll talk to Justin Reid about that in the 8 o'clock hour. All that and more between now and 10 o'clock right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
New Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated. HLAC certified to the highest medical laundry standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in